For the first time in my sister and I's relationship, I couldn't do anything to be there for her. I could stand next to her, but there was something in between us that I just couldn't help her. There was nothing I could do about it, so I felt helpless.
The Michaca family was faced with a reality most people would find hard to accept: that the life of their loved one relied on the generosity of complete strangers. But the fact is, we rely on strangers every day.
I started passing out. They took me to the hospital and they told me everything was okay. And then they told me I was really bad, that I was gonna need surgery. So they took me into the surgery room and then they noticed something was wrong with my liver.
Indra was diagnosed with fulminant liver failure, a condition of the liver that required an immediate transplant in order to survive.
My blood pressure dropped so low that I just fell into a coma.
In Indra's case, she had what we call fulminant liver failure. This is where all of a sudden, without any pre-warning, you suddenly discover that your liver is failing. Unlike a kidney where you could temporize with dialysis, in a liver case, if the liver is failing, there's nothing that we could substitute for it, short of doing a transplant. Because if you don't transplant them and replace that liver, they literally would die.
When somebody is in a liver transplant, a patient that's going to get their liver transplanted, and they have their liver removed, it's not so much a question usually of if they'll use blood, it's more a question of how much blood will they use. In Indra's case, she used about 51 units of various components of blood, including red blood cells and plasma and platelets, and that is a lot of blood. An organization such as the Blood Bank of San Bernardino and Riverside counties is a community asset. We can't exist as a hospital, certainly not as a level 1 trauma center, without an asset like that very, very nearby. You can't have an operating room without blood. You can't run a trauma service without blood. You can't have a hospital like Loma Linda without blood. So we need to work together to save lives.
If you just take some time from one day, you can save someone's life. I'm living proof that a donor can save a life.
Even though the transplant saved Indra's life, the experience left her feeling isolated and alone. Zulma tried to comfort her sister, but she knew something between them had changed. But Zulma found a way to reconnect with her sister by teaching others about organ and blood donations.
She went to different schools and talked about our experience, what we went through, and just let them know how they can help, what a difference they make in someone else's life.
Zulma decided to host a donor registry drive at her school, and the response was overwhelming.
We had more than 100 students sign up in one day, so that was exciting for me. And my sister was there the whole time helping me, and she saw the response from others that they understood her a little bit more, and it helped me in a way get closer to her because I understood that it really does mean a lot, not only to us, but others that know our story.
However, Zulma didn't stop there. She became a blood donor in order to extend the same care and concern others had shown her family.
I feel better because I know the pain you have to go through just waiting for a donor. And I know it's important and it's a weight off somebody's shoulder because they can't do anything about it sometimes. And they need you. You help give life.
Indra has a new passion for life and her family. She is committed to living life to the fullest.
I appreciate my family more. I spend more time with my family. I changed. A barbecue seems like a big thing to me because you just never know what's gonna happen next, so I try to live it up as much as I can. It's just a really big thing, to be there and just hang out with my family and listen to music, start dancing, and eat. I've got a lot to express now, and just painting helps me bring it out, you know, with all the different colors and shapes and forms, texture, and just everything, you know, just do all the things that I wouldn't normally do.
When Indra is not at school or home, she is at hospitals meeting with transplant patients, offering hope and support. This is just one more example of how Indra is able to look at her traumatic experience in a whole new light.
In a way, I regret the things that I had to go through, but I know it's a blessing because I help people now, and I try to teach people about organ donation and blood donation and what a difference they can make in someone's life.
It is amazing that so much joy and happiness can come from generous acts of complete strangers. But perhaps Indra and Zulma know more than anyone else. When it comes to saving a life, there is no such thing as a stranger.
Out of all this came my extended family. From my doctors, my nurses, my transplant coordinator, the family of my donor, and the blood donors who helped me and saved my life.
Thanks to the donors, you know, they are family now. They help my family stay together, and they're part of it now. They mean so much because they made up our family again.
It's easy to see how blood saves lives, but perhaps it's far more difficult to believe that donors can become like family. For Indra and Zulma, it's a reality they live with every day. Please don't be a stranger. Join our family by donating blood today.